welcome back to 65 Drums. My name's Justin, and today I'm doing my first impressions on the Lumen Handpan. This is going to be the first ever electronic handpan that's ever hit the market, which is weird to say because the electronic drum companies have seemingly tried everything that you can imagine and tons of things that you'd probably never even try to imagine. And really the only competitors out here that are close to this are probably the Roland Hand Sonic, the Korg Wave Drum, which has been disappearing from websites, so I don't know if that's even still around, and then some stuff from like Alternate Mode. They technically sort of operate in this space as well. But as you can tell, it's not a very crowded segment of the electronic drum market, and this is a brand new competitor that just emerged from South Africa. This will probably have a very niche, narrow target demographic, but I can say that I've never played any electronic hand percussion pad quite like this. But first, today's video is brought to you by EdrumCenter.com. If you're in the market for a new or used electronic drum set and you happen to live in the United States, go check out EdrumCenter. They've got a discount link for you guys in the description of this video. Go use that to save some money on your next order and support 65 Drums at the same time. So let me give you a quick backstory on the company. About 10 years ago, a man named Guy Jackson, who's from South Africa, he wanted to buy a handpan, but he either couldn't find one in his country or they were ludicrously expensive. So he decided to create an electronic version of it himself. He began working on this in like 2013, so all these years later, they finally have a finished product that they're ready to ship out. Okay, so let's jump ahead into the specs and features that this has. The Lumen Handpan is roughly 19 inches across, and it's got an aluminum shell. It weighs about 9 kilograms, or roughly 20 pounds, and it comes with a backpack so you can carry it around and play it wherever you want. It comes in two different finishes, an all black or a dark blue. Both of them look pretty nice in person. One of the main differences between this and other electronic hand percussion pads is that this has a 30-watt speaker built into it. And the way it's positioned, you can hear it all the way around the speaker in like a 360 projection sort of pattern. The company's going for a play anywhere vibe, which is why they include the backpack, and also they include a battery on the inside to drive the speaker, the headphone jack, or the master output. The battery will get you roughly 4 to 8 hours of use. It just depends on whether or not you're using the built-in speaker or using the output or the headphone jack. Now, when it comes to the actual playing surface, this thing has 9 zones, so 8 that goes around and then a center zone right there in the middle. I confirmed with the company this isn't using piezos, this is using FSR sensors. Basically, you can get pitch bending with this and also very precise like where exactly on the playing surface that you're actually striking. You can play this with drumsticks, I saw somebody doing that, but of course it's meant for playing with your fingers. The cool thing is that each one of these 9 pads has 5 different zones. The overtones will be on the outer edges and the fundamental note will be in the center. And by dampening one of the overtone zones, the zones on either side of it will sound the harmonics for the current note. The interface is very interesting. I've never seen anything quite like this in electronic drums. So it's like this circular touch sort of thing with a tiny, tiny little screen facing you.
We're going to change the volume. We would turn this up and down. We can change the key. We can change the scale. And you can change the instrument.
The Lumen has 4 gigabytes of internal storage for sample import. You can either buy official sounds from their website. I think currently they got like 3 different instruments that you can purchase, or you can bring in your own samples if you want. I believe there's like a sound editor, which is currently Windows only. You have to convert all your stuff into their special format before bringing it in. For outputs, you get stereo 1/4 inch out, USB, and 5-pin MIDI out. USB also does MIDI as well. And then driving everything is a 16-core audio processor. Okay, so with all that out of the way, now let's jump ahead into the pros and the cons, starting off with the stuff that I liked. The first thing that I like about the Lumen Handpan is that it's nice to play something that's not yet another flat circle. Just to have an electronic hand percussion surface that's raised and you sort of have to work around the playing surface at different angles because it's trying to emulate an acoustic handpan. It's just kind of nice and breaks up the monotony a little bit. Again, flat circles are fine. I love the Korg Wave Drum and stuff like that, but this is different and feels unique. It's probably important to mention that electronic hand percussion is in a slightly different lane from regular electronic drum sets. The ability to play quiet is the core selling point of electronic drum sets, but electronic hand percussion, that's not really their main selling point. For example, with acoustic handpans, they're really not that loud, and sometimes people find the need to buy these like magnetic pickup systems that you put underneath of them. I assume that's there to play live. So being quieter than the acoustic version isn't really the main selling point of electronic hand percussion. The main advantage is basically changing sounds to whatever you want, whenever you want, adjusting scales on the fly, MIDI out, and a direct audio connection for front of house, headphones, or your DAW. But one of the biggest things that makes this unique and sets it apart from other competing products is that it does have a built-in speaker and it does have a built-in battery. So you can go play wherever you want with like a guitar player, let's say, and you can just perform at a moment's notice, no like power needed. Now, the more cynical of us might say, wow, it's like they're evolving back into their acoustic form. I get that, but again, there's more possibilities with the speaker output, changing scales at will, changing sounds whenever you want, bring in your own samples. There's other things, of course, that make this more powerful than a regular acoustic handpan. Again, it's just an option. No one needs to buy this. It's just nice to have it out there for people that want it. Okay, so next up, let's talk about the cons or the downsides. The first is that you won't get a very high sound count as compared to something like the Roland Hand Sonic, so just keep that in mind. When it comes to their online sound store, every single instrument that you buy is like $30, so that's fairly expensive for one instrument. Also, where they put the interface is very clever and it allows you to make quick changes once you got that muscle memory down. But before you get the muscle memory down, you might find yourself, like I did, bumping the touch interface because it goes all the way around that center pad in the middle. It would be nice if the hard drive was a little bit larger than 4 gigabytes. And also, I wish that I didn't have to, convert everything from MP3 or WAV into their specific kind of file format. So next up is pricing. Lumen is on the expensive side. The launch price is $1,430, with $75 in shipping on top of that, plus customs depending on where you live. So how does that compare against everything else? If you buy a cheap acoustic handpan off of Amazon, those are roughly $300 to $500. But the legit nice ones from like Sweetwater.com, the cheapest one they sell is $1,500, all the way up to $2,600. On the electronic side, we don't really have a close one-to-one competitor because this is the only electronic handpan, but the closest competition is the Roland Hand Sonic, which is $1,100, and then the alternate mode Jamcat, which is $500, but by the time you have to buy all the other things to even make it work, it will also cost roughly $1,100. But the comparison is a little bit tough to make because the Lumen is larger, so it's physically going to be more expensive to manufacture. It's got a speaker built into it, it's got an internal battery, and it also comes with a backpack and a unique design that no one else quite emulates. There's no other competing product that does exactly what this thing does. So it is very unique. I feel like it will develop a small core, a small fan base, but I don't see it like, shipping millions of units or anything like that. So you would buy this like with intention, like I want this exact thing, but you wouldn't buy this, accidentally on your way to Guitar Center. I'll just pick that up because it's not in that pricing level. You have to buy this because you want it to do certain things. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.